Peace, family. Peace and love. Peace and power. We still on the journey. And this is a channel message from Big Mama. Chosen ones. It's very imperative at this time that we, especially above all others, not any big I's or little U's, but especially because we know better, we must do better. You're gonna have to be extra careful because everybody knows or should know that salt and sugar look the same, don't it? And more than likely, if you're not discerning and able to distinguish between salt and sugar, you won't know the difference until you taste it, which might be a little too late for you. And a lot of times, because those two white substances that are really, truly horrible for us, once you taste them, they could have already affected you in a negative way. Stay with me, family. Be mindful, be discerning. Salt and sugar look the same. Things that you think are bitter for you may in actuality not be bitter for you. Things that you think are sweet and good to you may in actuality be horrible for you. That's why it's best to be discerning. And Big Mama is saying at this time, many of us need to pay attention mainly because we should know better. It doesn't make us because we're chosen better than anyone, but it makes us more accountable than everyone else. To whom much is given, much is required. You can't walk around throwing titles around as if that makes you somebody. You can't walk around just claiming who you are and not acting accordingly. Because when you know who you are, you act accordingly. And when you know that if much has been given to you on this mission and this path, you have to act accordingly to that. Much is required of you. You got to move different. You can't move like everybody else moves. You have to discern more than everybody else because there are many people that don't want you to complete the mission. And you have to not be tricked. You have to know that sugar and salt look the damn same. Big Mom just keeps saying, y'all know better. You know better not to get tricked. You know better not to fall into the traps. You know better than to just be doing anything and moving any kind of way when you're not just anybody and you have real shit you need to be doing. And when you know your purpose and your mission, you know who you're doing it for. You're not doing it for likes. You're not doing it for subscribes. You're not even doing it when you know who your creator is. You know who your provider is, or you should know. So only puppets have masters, chosen ones. Let's be clear. Only puppets have masters. And also, many of us are having to realize with our real eyes that everything that sounds all sweet and innocent, like the salt and the sugar, right? You have to be discerning. You have to know the difference when someone is speaking to you out of love and concern versus somebody that's buttering you up and they really don't give a fuck about you. Let's be clear. If you are a mother and your child is about to run in the street and you see a car coming, are you just going to say, oh, baby, come here. No, don't run in the street? Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But would you be wrong if you push your child down and they scrape their knee, but they live to see another day? Some may say that's harsh, but I feel like many people are so used to people cuddling them, coddling them, saying all these sweet things to make them feel, we shouldn't even deal in feelings anyway, feel good but they don't really give a fuck about you and your soul and your spirit and your well-being. Because one thing I learned, this ain't what somebody told me. A mother that loves her child will push her child down on the concrete and let them scrape their knee to not get hit by that car. In the material realm, yes, you may be protected, chosen ones. But if you step out there and you don't listen and you're not obedient, you may have to get pushed down and get your knee scraped to save your life and save your soul. If you keep running around here just moving and not protecting yourself and thinking you can move and do what everybody else do not think that your ancestors ain't gonna let you get a little karma to make you sit down somewhere and get back on the right path. This ain't what somebody told me. This is what I know. So be mindful. Be discerning. Know that everything that look good and sound good and feel good might not be good for you. Know who you are and act accordingly. But most importantly, know that to whom much is given, much is required. You can't just be out here moving any kind of way and doing any kind of thing when you've been chosen. You got a mission anyway. You don't have time to play games that everybody else play. Unless you playing it to win and fulfill your purpose and your mission. So I hope this inspired you if you've gotten a little off track on the journey. And even if you haven't, we all need encouragement. And I know that that's all that Big Mama is speaking to us, the Divine Mother. That's all she's doing today is making sure that she keeping her babies on track. Because she see all the attacks. But you have to be mindful and be aware. Peace and love. Don't forget that power for the journey.